Hi, so we are here at Loyalty Expo in Florida, and I'm standing here with Rajat Paharia, who's the founder and chief product officer at Bunchball, a gamification company in San Jose. And Rajat, what I want to ask you was, the idea of gamification was first brought up at Loyalty Expo 3 years ago in a talk that Maritz did. You've spent some time here the last few days talking with folks and watching presentations. How far do you think that idea has advanced inside the loyalty space from your vantage point?
I think it's still nascent, it's still early in that space, but I think people are beginning to realize that loyalty isn't just completely transactionally based and that they need to add an interactive component to their programs. And what we heard yesterday on the panel from people like Starbucks and GameStop was that they see these living in parallel with their existing points-based traditional programs, and I think that's actually a really interesting way to go, and at least an entree into the loyalty world. So I'm really excited to see hopefully some of these guys start picking up the ideas of gamification and integrating them along with their existing loyalty programs.
So hopefully we're going to see more people doing that, and I know one thing that we talked about was there's a lot of discussion in talks at the conference about having a more emotional connection and playing off more on the human side of the interaction with the consumer, the channel partner. But we don't see a lot of that happening yet. It still seems like it's mostly transactional. What do you think is the danger of not living into that talk that we have here?
Yeah, I think I was just reading this book Switch by the Heath brothers, and they talk about how people have these two decision-making processes. One is a very cost-benefit analysis type, a consequences model, and that happens in certain small scenarios. But then the bigger one is this this emotional identity model, where they basically ask themselves 3 questions, which is, who am I? What kind of situation is this? And what would a person of my type do in this kind of situation, right? And I think that's actually the really fascinating area for the loyalty space to play in, because really loyalty is behavior change, right? And that's exactly what Switch is about. And so, and that ties very directly into this identity and emotional piece. And so I think it's very easy for us to all assume that we're all these completely rational economic cost-benefit analysis analysts, but I think the reality is that we're not. And we all instinctively know this, but I think it's easier to work on the numbers-based stuff because it's concrete, it's finite, it's understood, as opposed to the more squishy, like identity, who am I type things.
Right, and we had some talk yesterday on our panel about the potential danger of a Foursquare, of a Groupon, of a Zynga, or certainly Facebook deciding they want to sort of co-opt the loyalty space and become the loyalty player. Do you think gamification being brought in by traditional loyalty programs is a way to kind of do an end run around that?
I think so. I think those guys all really understand the power of gamification, and they're using it incredibly well to onboard people and to get them interacting with their platforms, with their software. And they're building up giant audiences, and they're going after like local businesses and starting there, and will probably expand from there. And so I think existing loyalty programs have the opportunity to start from a position of strength and work gamification in to address those same human needs. So, but it needs to be done quickly, because those guys are all fast Silicon Valley startups, and they're executing and iterating incredibly quickly, trying things. They have a lot of money, a lot of time, and they're doing it. And so the loyalty industry needs to move a bit quicker than it has been.
So there you have it. Not just from me, from Rajat Paharia, from Bunchball. The time for movement is right now. Thanks.
Awesome.